Did everyone have a specific job?
Everybody had to have a job based on their skills and knowledge. If you didn't want to work, you were sent to jail. The pay wasn't equal, but it was very low.
What were the negative sides of living in a communist society?
We didn't have luxury items from other countries. We had to stay in long, long lines for everything, including detergent, toilet paper. I remember that my grandparents woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning to stay in line for milk, including winter time. You couldn't buy meat. You could find only beef bones, pork bones with very little meat on them. It was very, very sad. You could visit only a few communist countries. I was in Bulgaria when I was in the primary school, and at the Olympic Games in 1980 in Moscow. But after the revolutions, things were different. You could travel, and our family, we visited a lot of countries, and we are grateful for that.
What about your religion? How did you cope with your religion?
About no free speech, we can include that you hadn't the freedom to speak about God at school, at work, but at home you could. I remember that my grandmother was a Christian and she told us about God.
Was learning Russian a compulsory thing?
Learning Russian was a compulsory thing in my parents' generation. When I was in school, I was able to learn English and French.
What was villages like when you were younger?
When I was younger, people in villages were very poor. Their lands were owned by the communist government. They had to give 60% of their crops and animals they were growing. We had everyday access to TV, but we had only one TV program, 2 or 3 hours a day, with a lot of politics, just a few movies, until 3 p.m. every night, including weekends. People could listen Radio Free Europe, but it was forbidden. It was very dangerous because if neighbors could hear that, they could tell the police and you could be put in prison.